shaking my tits for the press. I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this. But in fact, it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Oof, that's loud. Oof, that's loud. Let's turn the music down a little bit. It's still a bit loud for me. I have old ears. Alright, so hello everyone and welcome to This is the Police. This game's been on my radar for a really long time as something that I'd like to play on my channel. And like, what better way to celebrate me being back than with a game that I've been looking forward to for a long time. So let's get into it. Day 1, July 15th. Alright, so we got the Freeburg Tribune saying City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. Is that us? The Golden Bird says Mayor Rogers, sex maniac? And the Fact, Freeburg's #1 paper, Mark War II to be shown in Freeburg the day before the worldwide premiere, as by the mayor's personal request. Go to work. Alright, so we got a shitty old car. Are we gonna be able to upgrade our car? That'd be fun.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am.
Okay.
The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher.
So we got some puddles. It's wet outside. It probably rained yesterday.
This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job, Though it's true, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah.
Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else, though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them.
I like our hero here.
I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin?
Oof.
Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Okay. Oh, good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? What's the difference? I'm getting fired either way. Does it matter whether it came as a surprise? My business is my own. That's not really what I was saying. Do you already know the name of your successor? I think it'll be a department veteran. It'll most likely be one of my current employees. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? Perhaps. Sounds possible, but if he thinks the new office would help him serve the city a little longer. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? Bullshit. Excuse me, but that's a pile of horse shit. The mafia and the police working together? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens? The mafia are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about ask someone a real question? Someone ask a real question. Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? Definitely. Of course it's the reason. Personal relations are always important no matter what anyone says. Thank you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
Oh, poor Mr. Kendrick. Oh, shit, we got a bottle of pills. You should go to a chiropractor instead of just chugging down pain pills for your back.
As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell.
Fuck Mayor Rogers.
White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any scheme.
We're gonna straight and narrow this.
Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. be the hero.
Don't touch my
Then
paintings.
how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon.
We're gonna take you down. Took my fucking cigar. How so very dare
180
you?
days quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
We're gonna take him down. And that's what I'm gonna do. By the end of the 180 days, I want to take him down. Oh, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
I like Jack Boyd a lot. Alright, we got Freeburg Tribune. Jack Boyd believes feud with the mayor led to his resignation. Golden Bird, head of culture department, owns villa in Italy. And the fact, cleanness of the city streets increased by 20%. Alright, good job, Freeburg.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg.
Oh, Kendrick, buddy.
No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered.
Except Kendrick?
I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Do I actually receive tips again? But I'm a 60-year-old police chief a few months away from retirement. I don't need anybody telling me how to do my job. Show me what you got. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress, and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your police. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of the mark is not entirely reliable, while those with professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet even in a pinch. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. The employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Okay, so we got Kochi, Yancey, Purdy, Tsubaki, Asano, Austin, and Price, who's like an old grandma. We also have Mole, DeBrito, and Armstrong, who are brown for some reason. Okay, so we got some nice jazz. Okay. Neat, so we got the little model as like our... Responding to calls is bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send your officers to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The farther away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth, so the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. Hit and run at Everyday Mall. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units you're allowed to send to the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particularly risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. Oh my god. This music is so damn loud. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information, from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. A mission might look simple at first glance until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Alright, so there's been a hit and run at the Everyday Mall. A married couple exited the convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw he'd hit a bum, he got back in the van and quickly drove away. Alright, this doesn't sound too bad. Let's send somebody average. Let's send Tsubaki with Asano. And they're heading out. There's been a fight at the Last Picture Show Theater. A theater manager reports that during the show of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater, carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater security guard. Alright, let's send Austin. No. Let's see if we can't build Price up a little bit. Send Price, but Purdy will take the lead. Alright, so far so good. Tsubaki and Asano seem to have arrived. Oh! Hit and run report. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than living ones. Oh, we got him! Good job, Tsubaki and Asano. Good job. Ah! Price. Price, was that you? Price can't go any lower. Okay. Armed robbery, alright. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed a videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plates. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. This sounds like a job for Kochi, who will be assisted by Austin. Oh, there's been another fight, and Yancey's the only one we can send. At Johnson, Jurgen, and Kat's law firm. A brother and sister clashed with each other over their deceased father's will. According to one of the lawyers, we don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty tonight. Yancey, you're gonna have to go in this alone. Oh, Tsubaki and Asano just got back. Purdy and Price are back. Price, you're dragging Purdy down. There's been an assault in the ghetto. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then run away with his guitar and money. Purdy, take Tsubaki with you. And take Price. We'll see if we can't build her up. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. To deal with whatever comes up, don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. But the clock's not moving, so I can. The vehicle, this is for the armed robbery in the suburb. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Turn the siren and loudspeaker and shout that the house is surrounded. Sneak into the house through the open window. Knock on the door, open up, police. Alright, so these are just teenagers, though. They're probably... I think maybe just we scare them. Yeah! Awesome. Fight report. Yancey! Oh, Yancey, we shouldn't have sent you in alone. Oop. I guess it just became 6 o'clock. They've arrived at the ghetto.
412A.
Yeah! Price even went up a little bit. Good job, everybody. Good job. Let's wait for my officers to get back. See that nothing else happens. I guess that's it. End the day. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Someone's bound to make a mistake. It's Shift B. What is Shift A? Shift A has Stovall, Van Dahl, Robbins, Samadi, Grant, Birch Jr., and Roy. It also has Beasley and Moser. So they have one less detective. End the day.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
I like Jack.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Who's that?
Sand.
Who's that? Who's Sand?
Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events.
He's the kingpin.
An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission. And his whole family paid the price.
On Christmas Day, no less.
In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
No.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Damn straight. Alright. So, we've got, the Freeburg Tribune says the construction of the Cinema Museum postponed again. Golden Bird, Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. And the fact, legendary singer Gennaro Crespo comes to Freeburg. We need a new car. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for the day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. I got tickets to watch the filming of a TV show. I've always wanted to be on TV. Can I have the day off? No. In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes to improve the rank of any employee. If you think no one is worthy of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Employees of rank not only increase in professionalism, they also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to perform better than usual. Sometimes when cops get ranked, they'll start thinking more seriously about their service. This can mean less drinking and more time spent on the job. Some of them might even turn out to be dependable. Oh, okay. Stovall looks awesome. So let's give Stovall another one. And let's give this to, let's give it to Vandal. Freeburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can select any song from your collection and play it at any time, just like in real life. Well, the life of your grandfather. What's this neat one? What's this? Okay, nice. I'm a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. Affairs? Police station. Labor market. You'll have a certain number of paid job openings for which you can hire any applicant. Job slots are separated by the officers and detectives. Alright, so hang on. Oh fuck. Let's hire just in case for I think Shift A was lacking detectives. Want to free up a slot? Time to fire somebody. I don't want to fire somebody. I guess we'll fire Roy. If you have legal grounds for termination, no one will ask any questions, but you may need to fire them anyway, legality be damned. But that could land you in additional proceedings, and your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs than they are about actually doing their jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed, but that's not really a valid option, right? Oh, I don't have to fire anybody. Awesome. So, we're down 1 cop on Shift B. So let's hire Woodard first, Shift B. There's been vandalism at the cathedral. We've received a frightened call from the local cathedral. This morning, the abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. The yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols, and some have been broken into pieces. There even seems to be marks from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. Stovall? No, this seems a bit much for Stovall. Simity? And Grant. Yes, this is fine. This is wonderful. Vandalism at Atticus Tower. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw two teenagers scratching offensive slogans into his new car. Stovall, take Birch and Birch Jr. Maybe the suckiness of the Birches will balance out with Stovall's incredible professionalism. And Roy can, like, get the coffee or something. Ah. Samity and Grant.
1210 in progress.
A waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken, Eddie, and Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she's seen on the television that morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. This seems like a false alarm to me. So we'll send Roy out.
211.
Yeah! Look at the Birches climbing up in the world. Good job, Stovall. False alarm. The waitress had mistaken retired Officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Oh. Mr. Boyd, the bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching around the block. We need someone outside who can tell the cool guys from the punks. This sounds like a job for Roy, so let's wait for Roy to get back. Actually, no. Do we want to send somebody better? Because this is for the town. Let's send Samity. Samity looks like a guy who can tell the cool guys from the punks.
1111 in progress.
An anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. I mean, I don't really believe that, but let's see if we can't build Roy up a little bit. Gonna make the best with what we got.
411 in
Suicide threat, shit. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline is threatened to set himself on fire unless his favorite chewing gum becomes popular again. This sounds like a job. Stovall, let's go with Grant. What? Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this dump. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. Guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Samity. Samity. Alright, I guess we got Olivia White. What is this? Shift A? Shift A. Olivia, you're in. You're better than Samity ever was. We could have hired Hulk Hogan, but that's fine.
Officer on scene.
As the police arrive, the clowns keep making balloon animals for kids. Cover up in a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer.
1111.
Oh! I guess he actually was selling drugs. That was surprising.
411 complete.
Alright, we got the suicide threat. Grant's been elevated. Alright, I guess we end the day here. I can't believe we lost Samity. Alright, well, we did 3 days, so I think that's a good place to call it. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I've been Rael, and I'll see you next time. Bye!